First of all, before we start, the format is 2 short sessions, a little discussion at the end of each session, and then a coffee break in the middle. And we must thank the sponsors who have made this meeting possible. So, NVIDIA, DDN, Atempo, and Boston. Right. My name is Robert Esnouf. Welcome. I'm the head of the research computing platform we call Biomedical Research Computing, which is the shared computing platform between 2 departments, the Wellcome Centre for Human Genetics and the Big Data Institute at the University of Oxford. And as part of that, I would like you to welcome to the Lustre User Group meeting 2022 in Manchester. So why am I particularly interested in Lustre? So Biomedical Research Computing was established 2009 as the computing platform of the Wellcome Centre as a goal to make computing available to all the groups when next generation sequencing came along and doing it all on your workstation stopped being possible. And a key feature of doing that was from day one we had to sell our computing to the people who needed to use it. We didn't have any central money. We're not a centrally established facility of the university. And that was a model that's shown to be popular. We currently support about 180 PI groups, research groups, with about 900 active researchers across 25 different departments of the University of Oxford. And that is run by a team of 6, myself, Adam, John, and Colin, Charles, and Jeff in the photograph. And the work we support is really, really varied because we're not from one department, supporting one department. We take whatever we can. So these are some of the recent examples where we feel we make a difference to the science output of Oxford. So those of you who are aware of the biobank study and the large genotyping study, we're the cluster where all that work was done. We had involvement with the statisticians who worked all that out. We help people with their GPU-intensive work. So a very interesting recent case was when you're looking at the effect that coronavirus has on people's brains, particularly in making your olfactory, your smell organs or smell sense go wrong. We supported the GPU work that did that. Increasingly, we're having to set up tightly governed, highly collaborative environments. That's the direction research, certainly biomedical research, is going. And a particular example is the combat one, which is the blood atlas of the markers that appear in your blood when you're getting COVID, which are they going to be predictive of the level of treatment you're going to need? Are you on a path that means you're going to end up on oxygen or in intensive care? And obviously, the earlier you know that, the better you can plan. We supported a lot of Oxford's COVID-19 research, entirely this model of selling to the highest bidder, or not the highest bidder, but selling at a flat rate. Most research stopped in March 2020, and Oxford invested its own money in COVID research, and they said, you have a platform, you can sell us computing now, we will start next week. So they completely cut the normal process where it was Oxford's own money. They then went and chased benefactors to support it after the research had already started, and that was the key thing. And so some of the very early things, for example, this is an example of the in-host coronavirus diversity, but all those early models of how bad it was going to get, those were run on the cluster with the requirement to get them to the Cabinet Office for the next week. We also support a very important aspect of what we do, support structural and experimental work, so electron microscopy work, working with AstraZeneca, particularly this is how the Omicron version of coronavirus differs from the other Delta, whichever one the things were done against. So looking at the differences, how do you design better vaccines? And increasingly important, again, in biomedical research is lots of collaborations and support for commercial partners, pharmaceutical companies who have very demanding requirements and working them. So we work with Novartis, GSK, Janssen, Novo Nordisk, and of course AstraZeneca. This is where we are. We have 29 computer racks split across our 2 original buildings. And also it's important that the team members are directly embedded in those 2 buildings. So they meet the scientists, they talk to them face to face. We're not a hidden away facility from that perspective. And it's a range of computing. So experimental data capture, cluster, cloud, some multi-site storage and a high compliance cloud. In all, don't add up the bits, but it's slightly shy of 12,000 cores, a bit short of 200 GPUs, and getting close to 30 petabytes of storage. That's about the scale that we're at. So why are we looking at Lustre? Well, like most biomedical computing, governance, security, those are the important things. They want us to deliver a step up in that level of control while not losing the levels of performance that they've come to get used to us doing. It's very easy to govern the system and make it really slow, but to do it quickly is a real challenge. And the recent developments in Lustre and the future roadmap that we've seen make it very attractive for us, and we're actively looking at it, looking at security features. So the next talk will be John from my team. And Lustre would be much more attractive to us if there was a UK community of people using Lustre where we can go to help, ideas, inspiration, people to steal when we have jobs to offer. So rather than wait for a Lustre User Group to happen and wish it was there, here it is. I'm happy, proud to stand in front of it, at least for this meeting. There is a survey on your desk. This is very important. This is not necessarily how it's going to be in the future. Can you please fill in on what you want the Lustre User Group to look like in the future? We will take that away, digest it, and come back with something that suits your needs. So we've got a bunch of great talks lined up. We've got very, very pleased to have Pete and Andreas here, the Lustre developers, and of course you can talk to everybody. So I must acknowledge my team, Adam, John, Charles, Jeff, who I missed, Colin. If you're interested in being part of the MC, come and have a little word with me quietly. We have at least one, possibly up to 4 jobs coming up. I know I can talk about one specifically already. And I should also acknowledge we wouldn't exist without the long-term vision of those scientists that we support, the senior management in the Wellcome Centre and the Big Data Institute, and the Nuffield Department of Medicine, increasingly, which is the umbrella organisation. There's a challenge. It was financially supported by the many sources who keep giving us money, but also the Wellcome Trust and the NIHR National Institute of Health Research, Oxford Bioinformatics Research Centre, who pay me, and the University of Oxford sink money into us. And so thank you for coming. On with the talks. Please remember to fill the form in. And I'm very pleased to introduce the first speaker for my group, John Dippos, who will talk on Kerberos integration. So just right clip. Thank you, John.